What's up, everyone? This is Zarianah, your Upland newbie, bringing you another episode of What's Up Upland. Today, we'll be talking about what's up in Upland and giving you a market analysis. We'll be looking at some steals and deals I was able to grab, and I'll be talking about a little well fishing I'm trying to do. And of course, giving some newbie tips for players like myself who are new to the game and looking for all the help they can get. Let's jump into it. So first up, let me get rid of this music and tell you we are going to get into Spark Week first because I know people are like, what's up with Spark Week? So Spark Week is coming. April 11th is when it starts. People who don't know about Spark, you need Spark to build things that are 3D objects in Upland. Building takes quite a while and you need quite like a lot of Spark if you want to get through it fast. So if you just have 0.1 Spark, that's what you need to actually start building anything. So if you want to build a small townhouse, you're going to need at least 0.1 Spark. You can get that when you upgrade during Spark Week to Pro. You can also get that, was it Pro? I think it's Pro. I have it on here. Pro to Director. Wait, so it's Visitor to Uplander. You'll get a 0.6. Sorry, I have to lean on close. Uplander to Pro, you get a 0.12 if it's during Spark Week. Otherwise, I think you just get nothing. It looks like 0. Pro to Director, you get a 0.6, 0.5 outside of Spark Week. Directors, they get a 1.2 when they upgrade during Spark Week. Otherwise, it's a 1.0, and executive chief director, they get 2.4. Otherwise, they only get 2 Spark. So that's when you get that extra Spark bonus when you upgrade, meaning you increase your assets and your net worth. You can try to purchase Spark, but purchasing it, it's only sold in limited quantities. So you can see to get just a 0.05, which is $20, only 3,000 of those are sold. So you can try, but who knows? I'm going to try actually to get some 0.05s and maybe a 0.10. I can't afford a 1.0. It's too pricey for me. You see that it's $460? Yeah, can't afford that. So Spark Week is coming. You needed to build anything you want to build. Having it, you can rent it out. So that's kind of why people want to treasure hunt and find it, because obviously if you find it for free, it's better. Which is why you want to build a treasure map, which I will be talking about more later this episode too. So bottom line is, try to get involved with Spark Week. Either upgrade during Spark Week for some free Spark, or try to buy some. And I really believe if you're trying to earn money in the game of Upland, renting out Spark, I think one day, who knows, even right now people are making lots of money just renting out Spark. So I think it's worth it, especially if you're looking for another way for just passive income in the metaverse. All right, so that's that. Now another thing that's up in Upland. Oh, I have the wrong screen. Here we go. Here's what we got. I wanted to talk about this part of Upland that has come to their site. And it says the NFT utility layer for musicians. And it looks like Upland is advertising right now, trying to get more music people, musicians out here to use Upland as, a way to capture fans and do different things. So I'm going to show you what the website has on it, because I think this is a better way to look at it than me just discussing it, because they have some pretty nice graphics. But I also, while I'm talking about it, want to mention that they do have the NFL already involved. So to get people involved now with music, I think would be a really great thing for Upland. So if I could bring my own, if I could have One Republic or Madonna come to Upland, I would be so stoked. I would go definitely to a concert and buy a ticket in the Upland universe to check out some, metaverse music concerts for sure. So they're showing you on Upland site, hey, buy a ticket. This is what it could look like. So people who are musicians understand, this is what they have to offer. So we can have hey, geolocated, unlocked emotion linked to the real world locations. For example, well, they have San Francisco, but I'm thinking of LA, just the different concert venues there. that I would definitely want to go to, and even if they were just in the metaverse. And then, of course, they show you some things right here, contextual, your NFT at the right time and place with the right meaning. There's just so much possible, and to see that Upland is looking at this, I just think it's amazing. And they've done a really great job with their site. So, yeah. So you can come back, check it out yourself. But I just wanted to show that this is what's up in Upland, and I can't wait to see more done with this. Can't wait to see people actually, take advantage of this. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is this property that I purchased. So you can kind of see, this is the chain of history, but I wanted to show that I bought it right here for $20 USD. The reason I wanted to show this is because I wanted to show how fast I was able to flip it, and just show people this is what you can do when you buy in the USD side, and then you want to try to make gains in the game on the UPX end. You can totally do that. So people, when I show you those prices in the daily flow, are like, wow, this is a really cheap dollar property. You can see it's really easy. Well, it was easy for me. It was easy for me to flip and get a better gain out of it. So the person who sold the property to me actually bought it for 40 UPX. Maybe they got that easily, could have won it, and maybe they got it from just trading, so maybe it was like nothing to them, because then they turned around and sold it for $20 on the dollar side. But they gained dollars out of the game. And I then sold it for UPX, and looks like I sold it for 37,498 UPX. So I made a deal. Like, that's a pretty good flip for me, and I was happy with it. So I will show you my sold. And that was, well, at the time I took this, it was 10 hours ago. But it wasn't that long for me to push through and flip that property. So you can do your willing and dealing in Upland if you just, try it the right way. So next, what I want to talk about is a little bit of a market analysis. And so let me show you a little map I made. And this is something I put together quite a little bit ago. But what it showed was the way Upland has basically released, and then like the release dates and what it started off price-wise. And price-wise, FSA. And the reason I think FSA is what we should look at is because those are the people who got the cheapest properties. So they're kind of going to control the floor. Like, of course, other people will, make some deals too. But people who have the cheapest properties, they can kind of decide, hey, I'm going to put this at $5 because they feel like it, because they got it so cheap. So I feel like it's worth it just to kind of know this is where we started off with, and this is where we're going. So what I've done is decided to go ahead and take a look. I'm going to take myself off and show you all. I'm taking a look at these particular properties, these particular cities, Chicago, Kansas, LA, and Detroit. And I wasn't around in June of 2021 in the game, so I don't know what the prices look like as they fluctuated after the opening of Chicago. But Chicago is the oldest city out of these that are depicted. So Chicago opened at 504. And you can see in January when I started the game, it was now selling on the secondary market by then at 8,390 UPX and $3.50. So if we're thinking about 504, kind of like 50 cents, you can see that people obviously are making at least like $3 on their return if they were FSA people. If they were not FSA people, and let's just say they bought those properties for three times the value of 504 and paid about 1,500 something, they're still making like $1.50 or more sometimes on their properties, because these are the baseline properties that we're looking at. These aren't the collections. These aren't the really great neighborhoods. This is like the cheapest, right? So who knows how great of deals people are also making. But even people who just were able to get the bare minimum property value, they're making at least, some dollars, right, by now. So you can see some movement, even if it's not like a lot. So people are like, oh, can you make money in this game? It's like, yeah, but it might take you some time. So if we're thinking about months, so June right now, June for Chicago to April, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're 10 months later, and the dollar price for Chicago is looking like it sits around $6. Sometimes it goes into $5, but I'd say the average is put it like $6. So 9 months later, we're looking at a $6. Is it 9 months or 10 months? I can't remember what I just said. Whatever it is, we're looking at this $6, right? When you go to Kansas, you're also basically looking at that same type of $6 floor. And it's been open less. I've had 3 months I'm missing out of there that I don't know. 4 months I'm missing out of there. But you can still see that it's still on the dollar end around $6. Then we come over to LA. Looking at LA, I was around for LA's opening. So there I see we started with the FSA players able to get things at least at 590. Of course, I couldn't get those by then. But people started selling, and now they're already selling their properties for $5 and up. So that 421 I have for April, that's just like it's a one-off, but it's a possibility. So it was today, there was a 420, maybe it's gone now, we're back in the $5 range. But the idea is someone can still go, hey, whatever, I got this property for 1,000 UPX or less. I'm going to sell it for $4. And they're still making a deal. And if they have like 30 properties, if they're doing that with 100 or 500 properties, who knows? Probably not 500 properties. But if they have a lot of properties and they're just flipping them really fast for those small gains, that's a technique for them to get money out of, Upland. So just kind of watch that. But here's what we're looking at. You can see that, right now, I would say LA, it's probably looking as normal as probably Chicago did. Maybe we're going to see the same thing happening. Detroit is at that 355. So maybe in a month we'll see that one at $4. Let's see if it kind of goes up the same way LA is going up at the same rate. And hopefully I'm actually hoping that despite everyone's predictions, I'm hoping LA actually sees its floor increase pretty fast. And the reason I'm hoping that is because I see LA as like the best place in the Upland. I mean, it's huge, I know that, but it's LA, and it's who doesn't love California? To me, it's just like, who doesn't want to be there? So treasure hunting is tier one. Getting a bunch of properties right now might be the best for people who are trying to treasure hunt in LA, because that's where I just can't imagine people not wanting to be in the metaverse in LA. That's just me, my own bias. I'm buying a whole bunch of properties there. You can look me up and see all my properties are pretty much in LA. So I'm hoping to see that floor rise, but if it doesn't, what I'm looking at is I go by my neighborhoods. So right now, even it's 420 right now in LA, my neighborhoods are above that. So when I'm looking at when I sell my properties, my floors are already over that price. So I'm not too worried. So again, do go look around, but if you can get a $4 property in LA, I would say grab it. Obviously, on the UPX side, it's way higher. So that's a deal for you. So let me see. Next, sorry I ranted so much about those prices, but I want people just to kind of like get an idea of what they can expect in Upland. So next we have, before that, trying to catch a whale. All right, I know there are some whales out there in Upland, and right now I have a bait, man. This poor old teacher needs to pay $2,000 to repair her catalytic converter in Dodge Journey. Is there a charitable buyer out there? Or is this a great steal? Look at this property. I bought it because I loved it and I really wanted to make this my metaverse home forever. But when times are rough, you got to give up what you love. So I'm hoping I can reel in a whale. If you're out there, take the bait. All right, for tips for my newbies, here it is, neighborhood watch. Like I said, you just don't know. Just because your property is not in a collection, it does not mean that property is not able to be sold above the market floor. Always check, because you might be just ripping yourself off by selling at floor, thinking, oh, I'm going to go below floor so I can sell this fast. But really, your neighborhood floor is like phenomenal or way better. So just check it and make sure that you're not getting, not selling yourself short. But also check, because maybe you want to see if there's any deals there. Maybe you find a neighborhood where the floor is super high, but someone just doesn't get it. They price theirs at the regular floor of the city, and you can grab it, and now you've got a deal. Also, just a reminder, do not wait too long to start doing a treasure map if you're thinking of spark hunting, because you don't want the floors to rise on you, and then it's just like, oh dang, I wish I had got a cheaper treasure map when I realized spark hunting is really worth it. It is worth it. I'm barely learning, but just I finally found not too long ago I found a spark, and I was like, oh, finally a spark chest for my treasure hunting solo, not against others. And so I feel like that was encouraging, it can happen to me. So So that's my tips for you. Neighborhood watch, and I do think you should treasure hunt and get into it. All right, everybody, that is my episode of What's Up in Upland. I hope you enjoyed it. I am out.